Every year, the California Special Districts Association pulls together some of the best experts in public policy, and we bring to you explanations, guidance, details on the new laws impacting special districts in the new year. Today, we have with us Deborah Wilder, the president of Contractor Compliance Monitoring Incorporated, to share with you how you can stay compliant on all that new prevailing wage implementation heading into 2026. Take a look. Let's talk about prevailing wage in general. What is it when you're a special district? What is it that actually triggers the need to do prevailing wage?
Well, the threshold's really small. It's $1,000 of public funds, and that's what special districts are spending, are public funds. $1,000 of public funds for the use of construction, could be demolition, could be alteration, could be maintenance work, could be service work, could even be emergency work. But typical construction-related work that they're going to do, and $1,000 is a really low threshold to make, and that will trigger California prevailing wage.
And that's on any public works project done with folks outside of your W-2 in-house employees, right?
Right. Your own employees, a district's own employees, are exempt from prevailing wage. But if you have to hire a contractor to replace the locks on the building, if you have to hire somebody to come in and check the exit lights every 6 months in your building, all of those things are covered by prevailing wage if that contract equals or exceeds $1,000.
And now AB 538. So this had to do with something called CPRs. And I know our fire protection folks and our healthcare district folks, they know CPR, but we're talking about something totally different. Can you tell us what is CPR? What's the acronym? What does that mean?
Yeah, so in the world of prevailing wage, CPR means certified payroll records. And those are the records that the contractor is required to keep. And many special districts and other public entities collect those over time to verify that the proper wages, which are paid by craft based on the location of the project. So that's their verification of what they've paid their workers.
And we've always had to make sure we had access to these. The public's always been able to request these. What changed with AB 538?
So a member of the public can request certified payrolls, but they have to request them through one of two entities. They either request them through the DIR, the Department of Industrial Relations, or they request them through the agency. And in the past, when an agency got that request, sometimes they have the payrolls and they can provide them, but other times they would just send that letter off to the contractor and say, here, contractor, provide these records to this entity. This new bill requires the entity to actually go to the contractor, collect those certified payrolls, those CPRs, and then turn those over to the requesting party. But here's the catch. The public agency, the special district, has to redact or black out certain private information from the employees. And it depends on who's asking as to what gets obliterated or blacked out from the certified payrolls. So it's going to be a little more work for every special district.
And I understand the contractor has a deadline by which they must respond. And if they are non-responsive, the public agency is supposed to be part of the enforcement mechanism. They're actually supposed to report them. Is that right?
Right. So typically when you request certified payrolls under Labor Code 1776, you're to give the contractor 10 business days to get the documents together and over to you. And then if you don't get those documents, now the public agency is going to be required to actually file a complaint with the Department of Industrial Relations if that paperwork hasn't been provided.
So more work for special districts. We'll see where that goes, how much more work that is. I'm sure people can reach out to you and, of course, turn to our new laws series for more information, for more details, and for some questions. With that, is there anything else, Deborah, just as a career in prevailing wage, in contracting, compliance monitoring, what would you have to share with our members as a final thought
So I've been doing prevailing wage for more than 40 years, and frankly, the legislature can't keep their hands off of it. So the most important thing a special district or any public agency can do is once a year, have somebody who knows something about prevailing wage look at your contracts. Make sure you've got the current contract language, make sure it's up to date. That is probably the most important thing contractors can do. And then, CSDA does a really wonderful job. You've got a session with me in early January on what all the new prevailing wage laws are. And then we have a deep dive, a 2-day, 4-hour session that you guys put on in April with me to bring, somebody who's new to prevailing wage totally up to speed on that. So I would tell them to make sure that they check out your webinar series as well.
I love it. Stay informed. Don't be afraid to ask for help from an expert. And at the end of the day, staying in compliance is going to keep you out of some trouble. So we appreciate you with all of your help with that, with all the information. Thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you for your longtime friendship and partnership with CSDA.
Thank you.